Hi, I'm Paul Sullenberger. In this video, we're going to cover the installation for CeramicSpeed bearings, BB30, BB90, even BB65 of a direct bearing in the frame installation. We'll start with the frame, and you ensure the frame is totally clean and you have any required frame accessories available and in place, such as circlips and backstops for the bearings. We're going to go ahead and apply a thin bead of grease inside the bearing bore here to ensure that the grease is inboard. It helps give a nice slick protected layer and doesn't get squeeged out when we press the bearing in. Do the same on the other side. You're now ready to prepare your bearings, get the proper drifts, and we'll press each one in. You want to ensure you have the proper drift for each bearing size, so that way you can get the bearing all the way seated in, and make sure that the bearing drift is not hitting the frame or anything before the bearing is properly seated. For bearing only installation, you also want to ensure that you're pressing just the bearing and not using a dust cover or anything over the face that could compress onto the bearing or get in the way. We'll go non-drive side first. And you'll go until you feel the resistance, the bearing bottoming out, and we'll install the other side. It's good to be mindful of which side is the face of the bearing, where the balls are accessible, rather than the back side where there's a cage, so that future service can be done from the outboard side of the bike without needing to remove the bearings. There should be a moderate to firm fit for the bearings pressing into the frame. If they are too loose, the tolerances may be a little bit out, and then you're going to have the potential for creaking or noise issues. In certain circumstances, you may want to use a very thin layer of a bearing retainer compound or a Loctite product. You need to be very careful with this, as any of that product getting down into the bearing will create drag and ruin the quality of the bearing. It's a great suggestion to go ahead and test fit your dust covers on each side to ensure that they connect onto the bearing face itself and are not dragging around the outside of the bearing, the seal, or the frame to ensure a proper setup is possible. Once you install your crank, you're ready to go ride.